and welcome to Miss Bailey's Daily Dose. Today we are going to be looking at how we multiply. So, looking at multiplication. This multiplication calculation says 4 times 2 equals. It's really important that the children understand the mathematical vocab around multiplication. So the number before the multiplication sign is called a factor, and the number after it is also called a factor. Then we've got the equal sign, and the answer is called the product. So what I always do with my children is factor times factor equals the product. See if you can practice that. So factor times the factor equals the product. And it will look just like that. So this multiplication sign, the big X, means the same as lots of and groups of. And we can use lots of different methods to help us to work out the calculations and the answer to them. So 4 times 2 means 4 groups of 2. So I've done this by drawing 4 groups below with 2 in each group. And then I can count in 2s to add it up. So I can go 2, 4, 6, 8. So my answer would be 8. Now, when the numbers aren't too large, that's a really good method, and my children absolutely love using that. But when you've got 25 times 2, you don't want to have to be drawing out 25 groups. So there are also other ways that I can help you to work it out. Another way that we can work it out is using an array. An array is like a group of dots that groups it into rows and columns. The columns go down and the rows go across. So I always tell my children that the rows that go across represent the groups and the number of groups. And the columns going down is how many are in each group. So for example here, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows going across, which means 4 groups. And I've got 2 columns, so there's 2 in each of those groups. So that would be the array that represents the calculation that I'm working out today, which was 4 times 2, just like that. And then again, you can count it up. 2, 4, 6, 8. I know my answer is 8. So you've got creating the groups and the dots. You've got arrays that you can use. Another thing that I get my children to use is repeated addition. Repeated addition can be used when the children really know those number bonds really well and they know that they can count in 2s quite easily. So for example, 4 lots of 2 is the same as saying add 2 4 times. So 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. And I know if I counted 2s, 2, 4, 6, I get the same number, 8. It's really important that children already know how to count in 2s for them to be able to do this. If they don't know how to, then the arrays and the groups and the dots are the best things for them to do, because then they can physically see those groups of 2 and can count them. The second part of multiplication is known as commutative. This means that the factors, so the 4 and the 2, can be swapped over, but the answer still remains the same, and it's the same in addition. So 4 times 2 is the same as 2 times 4. And again, the children will represent that in different ways. So if they were representing 2 times 4, that's 2 lots of 4. So they would then need 2 groups, and it wouldn't be with 2 in each time, it would be with 4 in. Just like that. And they can count the dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 each time. Now I'm going to show the year 3s how to do a bit of a harder one, because when we're multiplying by 2, it's quite easy. Most of us know how to count in 2s, and it's quite an easy number to count in. When it comes to 4s, unless you know your 4 times tables really well or can count in 4s easily, there's a bit of a trick method that can help you to multiply by 4. So for this calculation, 6 multiplied by 4 equals, we've got 6 as a factor, 4 as a factor, and we're going to find out the product today. So 4 is the same as 2 lots of 2. So when we multiply by 4, we can times the first number by 2 and then times that answer by 2 again. So we can do 6 times 4, and to work that out, we do 6 times 2 and get an answer, and then that answer times 2 again, and you would work out 6 times 4. Instead of trying to work out how to count in 4s, if you can't do it, it's an easier way. So for example, I'm doing it in groups here, so I've got 6 groups, and I need 2 in each. That's the first part of my calculation. So I've drawn my 6 groups, I've times it by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I now know that 6 times 2 is 12. Now I need to times that 12 by 2 again. So 12 times 2. And I've drawn 12 groups, and now I'm going to draw 2 dots in each of them. And again, most of us know how to count in 2, so it's quite nice and easy. I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So I now know that 6 times 4 is 24, and I can write that out. So that's an easier way for my year 3 children to multiply by 4. Again, I could also use that doing arrays. So here is my 6 lots of 2, and I can show you that here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, trying to write backwards. So I've got 6 rows and 2 columns, so 6 groups of 2. And then I've changed that afterwards because I know that that's 12. And now I've got 12 lots of 2. So I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. And I know that the answer to 6 times 4 is 24. See whether you can have a practice with some of the ones that I put below. Thank you.